Hi, my name is Denny. I'm an analytics architect with the Maximo development team. In today's video recording, I'm going to highlight the powerful combination of KPI schedules and ad hoc reports. In Maximo 7.6, we introduced new functionality where you can schedule individual KPIs to run at various time intervals. Some of your KPIs, you might want them calculated every day. Other ones might be every week, every month. So now you have this flexibility and functionality available to you. I was recently talking to a client about this and they loved it, but they said to me, "Hey Pam, how can I view which KPIs have been scheduled?" And the immediate feature that came to my mind was create an ad hoc report. It's a beautiful use case for this scenario. So let's go through the steps of how you can quickly do this. We'll start off by going to the cron task application. I'll show you that new KPI functionality. We'll then go into object structures, create an object structure for the new KPI and KPI schedule objects. We'll go into report admin, give our user access to that new object structure, and then we'll actually go into KPI Manager, assign some schedules, and create that ad hoc report. And we'll be able to generate content like this, which shows us for our various KPIs what schedule that they have. So let's get started and come over here to Maximo. So again, let's start and go to the cron task application. I'll bring up that KPI cron task. This is the one that enables you to calculate your KPI values at different time intervals. And I've got a couple up here that are already preset. And it's a basic standard functionality where you just create new individual instances. So the next thing we're going to do is we'll go to the object structure. But before I go to the object structure, I'd like to highlight a best practice, and that is to go to dbconfig. There's so many objects and relationships in Maximo. It's always best to start in dbconfig and make sure that your tables and objects already have relationships defined. It'll save you a lot of frustration if you go and create and going to the object structure application. So I'm going to start in a KPI Manager. Its main table is KPI main. But let me come over here to relationships and make sure that I have something for my KPI schedule. And I do. I already have a relationship. So this means that I can join KPI main to KPI schedule. And I need that ability in the object structure app. So again, just that quick check, make sure everything's all set. Well, let me come back now and let's go to that object structure. I'm going to come here and I'm going to create a new object structure. Let's call it rep KPI sched. So this is my KPI schedule object structure. It's just a way that I name them. You don't necessarily need the REP. What's most important is that you have it consumed by reporting. What's that application? It's going to be the KPI Manager. Make sure you get the right one from the lookup here. Now I got to come down and define what my hierarchy of objects is. My parent object, do my search on KPI, it's my KPI main, perfect. And my child object, I'm going to keep it really simple. Again, I'll just do a search, make sure I grab KPI schedule, perfect. Now my child object is KPI schedule. Who's my parent? It's KPI main. It's a simple kind of hierarchy in this case, but as you can build out many child and grandchild levels, that becomes extremely important. What's my relationship? That same relationship I saw in dbconfig, and I'm going to come here and save it. Now if I was truly doing this, I would come in and I'd do some cleanup in my exclude include fields to make sure my users only saw those fields that are applicable to them. We have like a lot of integration and ID fields in Maximo. You don't necessarily want to expose those, but I'm just going to keep this pretty top level for now for our object structure functionality. Now one other step you need to do before you create your ad hoc report is grant access, security access to that new object structure you created. This is a step that many people miss. I miss it too all the time. Oh, let's see if I can find it here. Oops, KPI, there it is. Who do I want to grant access to? This will be the people that have access to the KPI Manager application. In this case, I have 2 people. So now I select save. Oh goodness, I got tongue-tied there. And now let's go back to KPI Manager. Let's bring this all together. Here's my individual KPIs. I'm going to do a subset here. Here's all my work order related KPIs. I think, let me grab this one here, work order overdue. I simply come down here and I look for my schedule KPI action. Let's click new row. I'm going to see those 4 instances that I had created. That's perfect. Again, schedule KPI for the individual KPIs you have. Excellent. Well, now I'm going to come back to my list review and I'm going to create my report. This is so exciting. All right, these are my work order KPIs with schedules. I'm going to come right over here to my content. I can see my KPI schedule. That's what I called it. It's actually my KPI values. So these are all KPI main values. That's perfect. My KPI schedule. Where is it? Where is it? I want the cron task instance name. Perfect. Did I get that right? KPI schedule. Let's preview this. And now I should be able to see the list of KPIs and if they have a schedule associated to them. In this case, it's only going to show those schedules. So what have I got here? Here are my few different KPIs. So KPI 7, for example, PM work orders overdue. I don't have a cron task or a schedule instance associated to it. Versus some of my other ones, EM work with no downtime, I have 2 different values. So see how quick and easy that is? Isn't that so exciting? Now I can create a report. I definitely come back and clean this up a little bit. I just did a quick preview. But now I'm able to quickly see which KPIs have the scheduled instance associated to them. Really, really powerful functionality. So exciting in Maximo. So with that, I'd like to thank you so much for your time.